Welcome back to America's Retirement Headquarters, the home of the Retirement Guys formula and America's Medicare Associates with Nolan Baker and Dave Ross. 419-794-3030 is the phone number. If you have questions about things we've talked about on the show, questions about your retirement in general, that's how you reach out. 419-794-3030. You can also go to the website. That is arhq.com. Don't forget, if you missed the first half of the show, you want to catch up on previous segments of America's Retirement Headquarters. Real easy. Just go wherever you consume your media, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube, of course. Great collection of videos there. All the shows that we've done prior. Just search for America's Retirement Headquarters. They're there for you to check out at your leisure. As the Fed begins to cut interest rates, you may be wondering if the opportunity is over to lock in favorable rates on CDs, money markets, and annuities. Bank rate economist Mark Hamrick tells CNBC, well, there is, in fact, still time.
The rates are falling like a feather, not a hammer. And so even if we get that one or two rate cuts by the end of the year, as so many people seem to be confident about, we're still talking about rates remaining at relatively high levels. If you're in the game, you're going to benefit.
So the game now to look for a fixed income product with a longer term? And are you guys seeing a rush to grab the best rates?
I think getting rates while they know what they are is extremely important. In fact, they're talking about this soft landing that they've been using for a while. But in reality, if you go back and you look at the history of the federal fund rates, there's usually, in many instances, if we look at COVID as an example, a shock to the system, interest rates immediately plummeted. If we go back to the crash of 2008 in the financial market, boom, crash of the system, rates immediately drop. If you go back to the crash of the 2000 market, dot-com bubble burst, boom, immediate drop to interest rates. In fact, you can see that in the 90s, you can see it in the 80s, you can see it in the 70s, and you can see history has shown in the past that usually some type of shock happens to the system and rates immediately drop. That's why I think it's important is if fixed rates make sense for part of your portfolio and you want to lock in interest rates, do it while you know what they are right now. We know that the Federal Reserve has indicated that their plan is to slowly lower interest rates. So why not take advantage of where rates are right now? And then heaven forbid, if there is some type of shock to the system that happens like what we've seen happen in the past several decades when rates drop dramatically and you completely miss out on that opportunity, take advantage of them now. Here's 3 ways to do that. Number one is you want to identify where there are opportunities that you have to increase some of the rates of return. So you want to look at large checking, large savings balance. Maybe if you have a CD, a money market account, or an older annuity, those are perfect examples where there's many different fixed income rates that are out there. And depending upon what your time frame is, you can take a look at how to work to increase the income in each of those categories. Now, if you took that bucket of money, and I'm not saying that you can, but just imagine what it would look like if you could get 20% more income off of those type of opportunities by upgrading them. There's been so many people that we've run into that are sitting with their lazy assets and still not getting paid their fair share. And so taking advantage of those interest rates has an immediate impact on their bottom line. Number 2 is, again, understand that rates are going to go down. They're expected to go down. And there is a cost to liquidity. Liquidity is important. You want to have enough money that covers your immediate needs or uncertainties that come up in life, but having too much money, there is a cost of liquidity. So if you keep more money in the money market account and savings and large balances there, and rates go down, those rates are going to go down as well. And that's okay if that's liquidity needs that you have, but if there's more money, what you want to consider right now in this environment is what is called a laddered approach. With a laddered approach, you want to have money set aside for your liquidity needs, and then you could have money set aside in FDIC insured CDs that mature in 1 year, 2 year, 3 years out. You could even use some of the insurance products of America like fixed annuities where you can lock in rates from 5 to 10 years. I had a client that came in here recently, and what he said is, I don't think we're ever going to need this money, but, I don't know. While rates are where they are right now, I want to take like half of the money and I want to lock in the rate for the next 5 years. And I want to take the other half of the money and lock in the rate for the next 10 years. And that's money that they can now set it and forget it and get decade level high interest rates. So, regardless of what the interest rates happen, the company that he set up the account with is contractually obligated to pay him those rates. No different than he's contractually obligated to abide by the terms of the contract that he set up. And number three is to know what your risk tolerance is. So locking in fixed interest rates in retirement accounts can be more preferable for those people that are looking to reduce the market volatility in their portfolio. And look, I hope the market continues to go up. You know, it's so much easier looking at my investment account or client's investment account when the market's going up. But the reality is the stock market is at an all-time record high. You've got almost now 2 years of back-to-back double-digit growth in the market. If you wanted to take and protect some money and lock in fixed interest rates before they go down, I don't think you would look back and say that was a bad decision.
Nope.
Again, now's a great time to take a look at it, especially with rates set to be lowered before the end of the month and possibly even further on into this year. It doesn't mean that you have to necessarily run out and put all of your money into something, but finding the right approach, finding what you're most comfortable with. Think of it kind of like Goldilocks, not too much, not too little, just right for you. The team at America's Retirement Headquarters can help you figure out what that is and figure out the right approach for it. All you need to do to get started, set up a time to speak with them. Reach out, 419-794-3030. Go online, arhq.com. And as I mentioned earlier, a lot of great educational videos for you over there on YouTube. Just search for America's Retirement Headquarters, all there for you to check out whenever you're ready.